by 2 p.m. for NFP live trading. Okay. But yes, apart from that, we'll look at what the market has for us and how we can take advantage of it as at this morning. Okay. So let me share my screen with us. I think first of all, let's look at Forex Factory. Let me share Forex Factory with us. We'll check out Forex Factory and then we can now decide where to go from there. Nice. Okay, so here we have it. This is Forex Factory. What we have here is yellow folders up until 230 and then 230 is red. So the thing is, there is no that high impact we are having today apart from NFP. You understand? There is no high impact on any other level until NFP. So there's a high chance that the dollar pairs will likely be kind of dull or slow till that particular point in time. You understand? But if you check out NFP, we're expecting the previous was 216,000, and what the forecast is 187,000. And that means that if data comes out higher than 187,000, that could actually give strength to the dollar. Right now, I will say this again: when trading NFP, there is something, and this is based on what I have noticed. You understand? This is based on what I have noticed. I've noticed that most times, because of the couple of data that comes out, we have 3 high impact data coming out 2:30 p.m. 3 high impact data coming out at the same time. Right now, because of these 3 high impact coming out at the same time, the 3 of them can actually come out with different values or different data. Okay. If you have one of them, I've noticed it that most times, if all this data comes out positive for the dollar, if all 3 of them, it's not even only about NFP, okay, because it's not only NFP that's coming at that time, but if all the 3 of them comes out positive for the dollar will experience strength. You understand? It will be in the clear for you to sell Euro USD, to sell GBP USD, and all that. If the 3 of them comes out positive, right? Hey, if all 3 of them now. But if you have different results, okay, if you have different results, this one comes out positive, NFP comes out positive, but the others come out negative, something like that. If you have that kind of result, there's a high chance that even if NFP is positive, because of the negative impact of the other ones, there's a chance that there's a high chance that the dollar will be weak. You understand? So most times it's not just about NFP, but it's also about what the other data are actually saying. You understand? It's about what the other data are saying. But once they are mixed, once one of them or 2 of them is actually negative, it does not matter if NFP alone is positive. There's a high chance that the dollar would actually fall. And if you have the time, you can actually go back, check the dates that other NFP, at least for the past 4-5 months, you can, it's something that is worth doing. You can go back, check the dates, go on the chart, see what the dollar did. You can do that. You understand? If you just check high impact news, NFP, check on the chart. If you'll notice that most times, if the data is mixed, the dollar will be weak. But if all of them come out positive, the dollar will be strong. Now, if all of them come out negative, the dollar will be weak. But if the only time where most of the time, of course, not every time, but most of the time where the dollar gets strength is when these 3 data actually come out positive. But if they are mixed, whereby one of them is negative or 2 of them is negative, the dollar might likely be weak. But I encourage you between now and then to actually, look into it and do a little research. But that's that about this. We can move on and let's talk about, let's look at our chart. Okay, so I'm going to say this now, and I hope we get it. I'm going to say that we'll most likely be looking at non-dollar pairs. We'll most likely be looking at non-dollar pairs this morning, because we've already established the fact that there's likely going to be low impact. And since we are going to be having the 2 o'clock session, we will now be able to dwell on dollar pairs. Okay, we'll be looking at most non-dollar pairs. We'll be looking at non-dollar pairs. Okay, it's not the one now whereby, as we are saying, people start dropping Euro USD GPA. We have said it now that because of the fact that we have a high impact news later, there will be less volatility. So we will look at non-dollar pairs. Okay, so good. But of course, we can look at the dollar index. We can first of all start with the dollar index. You see the dollar index actually weak. As of yesterday when we looked at it, dollar actually fell. And then for those persons who after the meeting, after our afternoon session, which was also fine, our afternoon session was good. But after that, if you were if you're on the WhatsApp channel, you see that I think we talked about gold. We still talked of a further buy on gold and Euro USD. Right, so if you took advantage of that buy on Euro USD and buy on gold, I'm sure that you'd have made very good profit as at yesterday. Right, good. So but this is it here. This is the dollar index, and the dollar index has been rejected from this once again, and it's very weak, ranging around this point. You understand? So we are hoping that we get a breakout. You can see how the dollar has also been ranging, and that's why instrument like GBP US, Euro US has been ranging. Look at dollar has been ranging. So we are hoping that we get a breakout, a break above here, a break below here, to tell us the further direction of the market. But right now, there's a high chance that dollar will continue to range around this point, because where it is right now is even a support zone. Where the dollar is right now is a support zone. This place is a support zone. There's another support. So the whole of this zone here is a support zone. You understand? Here. So that's just to show you that we'll likely not get a lot of volatility in the dollar index. Okay, we'll likely not get a lot of volatility. Okay, now let's begin. Like we said, we'll look at non-dollar pairs. So let me start with DE40. Let's look at DE40. We are in European session, so we could at least get some move for DE40. Okay. Okay, so we'll begin with the daily time frame. See what's up on the daily. Bullish yesterday. I want to believe so. Dollar DE40 was bullish yesterday. You can see this is the daily time frame candle. Look at it. After the 2 days of fall, because of the weakness of the dollar, due to fundamentals that came out, we see that DE30 was able to close bullish yesterday, right? But you will also notice that DE30 is ranging around the high point that it was rejected. It's ranging around the high point that it was rejected. So that means that we will expect any drop in the market. We expect any drop anytime soon in the market, right? Because this zone here is a resistance zone. But if you look at let's look at 4 hours. Let's look at 4 hours. This is it on 4 hours. We have this push up like this. We have a retracement like this, and then price is back up towards this zone. Personally, I will not be looking out for a buy around this zone. Okay, I will not be looking out for a buy around this zone. I'll actually be looking forward to more of a fall around this place. And the candlestick patterns that has happened the past, if you check, this is 1 hour now. You see that most times when I analyze, I start from the daily and just move downwards, right? But you notice that candlestick patterns on 1 hour show some level of bearish pressure. This is an inverted hammer. This is an inverted hammer, and this is around the zone where price was rejected the last time it got here. Look at it. If I mark it, the last time price got here, price was rejected, right? So it's not out of place to actually expect a fall on DE40 this morning, right? And you will notice that this zone here is actually a sell zone on DE40. The whole of this zone is a sell zone on DE40. So for people with very good volume who enjoy trading DE40, this is a good opportunity for us to look out for a sell. So you can look out for a sell on DE40, or you can have a sell from if you're not looking at an instant sell, You know, if you're not looking at an instant sell, which I would advise, you can actually do an instant sell, or you can have a sell from 17,040. You can have a sell from 17,040, you know, and target profit before this support here. Can target profit before this support. That's around 17,020. Okay, so we can have that around there are different ways to trade this, right? There are different ways to trade this. You know, if you're somebody who is a risk taker, okay, like I am, you can be in an instant sell now. You can take a sell now, and that means that you don't need to wait all this way. You would have made good profit already, right? Here you can take an instant sell. Even if prices comes towards this zone, all these zones I've marked are still places where I still expect a sell. Even 17,110. 17,110 is still a sell zone, right? So all these zones are sell zones. But you can have a sell. You can take a sell from 17,040. Okay, you can add it at 17,040 and take profit at around 17,020. Right, 17,020. Now, apart from that, another thing you can do is what I keep showing us, which is, you know, you could have your moving average here. You can have your 50 period moving average on the 15 minutes. Okay, if you want a more confirmed move, right, you can have your 50 period moving average, and then let price break below it. Let price give you 2 bearish candles below it, and then you can expect a sell from that zone. You understand, right? So that's what I would advise for DE40. I would advise that look out for a sell from this zone where it actually is. As you can see, it's a zone where price has been rejected. It's within all the times that price has been here, it's only, you know, only around last week of January was price able to break it. And even when price got up to this place, it could not break above here, right? So I will not be looking out for a buy around this place. I'll only be looking out for a buy if it closes above. In fact, for me, trading DE30, if DE30 heads up to this place, I'll still look out for a sell on DE30. You understand? Because this whole zone where we have marked is actually a sell zone. Okay, so you can have a sell. You can also even have a sell limit. You can have a sell limit at the top here. You can also have a sell limit on your DE40, go to 15 minutes. You can have a sell at the top. That's 17,110. You can have a sell limit there. You understand? So talking about the sell, there are different ways you can play it. You can have an instant sell. You can look out for a sell from 17,040 to take profit at 17,020. You can have a sell limit at 17,100 for DE40, you know. But this zone here is actually a zone where we would expect that price will not be able to break above. Maybe during the high impact later in the day, we can see that. Okay, but for DE40, it's around the sell zone, and I really believe you can take advantage of a sell from there. Okay, so move on from DE40. Let's check out this GBP card, which I'm looking at right now. Check out GBP card. First start with it on the daily time frame. Well, for GBP card, yesterday, because of the data that came out on the GBP front, I think GBP closed bullish. Actually, GBP was trading bearish. We've had series of fall. I think over 5 consecutive days of fall against the Canadian dollar until price got here. This particular moving average is not meant for this daily time frame. Okay, it's just there because I used it on 15 minutes time frame, so it's not really there here for daily time frame. But the truth is, because of that data of yesterday, the price was able to make a major turn up and, you know, push up. Now the question is this, and I want us to look at this. I'm going to mark this place where price was rejected from. Now, I've said it that yesterday there was data that came out, and that data actually pushed price up. But the truth is, if you check, if you follow this line where price was rejected, you see something like this on this particular day. Price was also rejected here too. And if you continue to trace price and follow that particular line, you see that it's not the first time that price has been rejected around that point. So sometimes, you know, even fundamental actually blends with technical. You understand? Even the fundamental actually blends with technical, because yes, price was selling, and then it pushed up. But not only did it push up because of that fundamental, it actually pushed up from a zone where it was rejected before. So sometimes many times, and you can write this, down, or you can take note of this. Many times when price is around a support, a strong resistance before a fundamental, many times like that, when price is around a strong support, a strong resistance before fundamental, there's a high chance that that fundamental will be, or that support or that resistance will be too strong. That is a zone where fundamental may take an advantage to be rejected, or to reject price. You understand? So we can go ahead and look at GBP card on 1 hour, but it doesn't mean that GBP card on the long run is not actually. Let's look at it on 1 hour. Okay, good. So this is where we have, after the major fall that we had on GBP card, we had this kind of retracement from, I think, from yesterday, because of the news that came out. Right now, GBP card is ranging around this one. All we need to do is just to watch out for this particular point here on 1 hour. You see this point here, because price has made a push up from here. Now, this particular fall that price is doing now is what we might likely call a retracement. You understand? So this push up where we have like this is a retracement, and this fall here, this fall like this is a retracement. So it's either price now begins to return back to make a what? A higher high, and from that higher high, we can now take advantage of that move. Because if price begins to trade up to a higher high, you can have a buy stop here that captures that move once it is making its higher high. You understand? So that's what I'm actually expecting. And that is why when we see, because like we said yesterday, a data like monetary policy that GBP released yesterday is expected to actually have a lasting effect, at least for the rest of this week. You understand? Considering that even Canadian dollar, normally they should have their own data today, their employment data, but they do not have it today. They don't have it today. So that means that this particular strength that we've seen on GBP card from here might likely actually continue. And also, if you consider the place where GBP card was rejected, and if you follow it backwards, you will notice that it's a place whereby it's a strong zone. It's a strong zone, you understand? So we could actually expect a further buy on GBP card from 1.70710. I can expect a further buy on GBP card from 1.70710. Okay, I can have that from 1.70710. And then if I take that buy, I can actually take profit at around, on that GBP card, if I take that buy, I can actually take profit at around 1.70970. I can take profit at around 1.70970. Now, the thing is this: if I take advantage of, if I can join this particular move here and take this buy, I'm just looking for about 20 pips. But if price hits my take profit here and price closes above my take profit point, I can still look out for a further buy again on GBP card. Okay, so if GBP continues her strength, the next point I'll look at, remember that I'm looking out for my buy from 1.70710. That's where I'm looking out for my buy from around 1.70710, right? Now I can be looking out at my next point at 1.70970. Right? I can look out from that point to around 1.70970. Okay, but apart from that point, another zone I could consider, if price can close above that zone, and that zone I can consider is 1.71210. So we are looking out for two zones for our buy. Okay, we're looking out for two zones for our buy. Okay, for GBP. Now, in terms of, we've looked at this buy. Now. This is on 15 minutes, and you can see that the 50 period moving average. Okay, somebody asked for settings. Oh, audio. Well, my audio, because I have a feedback system here, my audio seems fine. So maybe it's network. Okay. But what I'm saying now is somebody asked for the settings of the moving average. Moving average is 50 period exponential moving average. 50 period exponential moving average applied to close. Okay, good. So my 50 period moving average is acting like a kind of support here. Okay, and that is what I will expect if price cannot break it, for price to head up and give a higher high. You understand? But in terms of, say, we expect a fall in the market, if price can break this thing, remember that we also said that the 2 consecutive bullish candle thing, 2 consecutive bearish candle thing also works for currencies, right? So I currently have my 50 period moving average on 15 minutes and price is there. That's interesting. That means that I can watch this price. Now, what am I going to do? If the next two candles close below this moving average, okay, if the next 2 candles close bearish below this moving average, I'm going to look out for a sell. Okay, I'm going to look out for a sell. So it's not a sell stop. It's not a sell stop. We have my 50 period moving average on my 15 minutes. I'm going to be checking it for the next 15 minutes. First, this particular candle will end by 8:45. Then the next candle will end by 9 p.m. If by 9 p.m. I have 2 consecutive bearish candles below this moving average, I will look out for a sell. I will look out for a sell, and I'm looking out for that sell. My next zone I'll be considering is around 1.70188. Look at why I placed that place. Because of this place, I'm placing my take profit before this side. So 1.70188 is where I will be selling to if I get 2 bearish candles below the moving average. If I get 2 bearish candles below that moving average, I will sell to 1.70188. And if price closes below that place, I will still look out for a further sell again. I'll look out for a further sell again to 1.70,000. To 1.70,000. Okay, remember, personally my preference is the buy, but I have my buy above the high, right? I have my buy above the high at 1.70710. I might take profit at 1.70970. Okay, but I'm saying that if I get 2 consecutive bearish candles below that moving average, I will rather sell to 1.70180. And then if it closes below there, I'll look out for a further sell to 1.70,000. Okay, so that's what I'll do. Let's look at oil. Okay, begin with daily time frame. And oil was bearish yesterday. Oil was bearish yesterday. You see the sell. We've had 2 consecutive days of a sell. Now, let's look at the pattern of oil. Let's look at the behavior of oil. You know, we are on the daily time frame, so we can actually look at our chart on oil. Here they've come. GBP USD, please. We said that we may not be looking at dollar pairs because of the NFP later today. You understand? So just follow me. Now, oil, look at oil. Look at oil. I want us to look at this chart. Have you noticed that there's a pattern of oil most times when you have 2 consecutive sales? When you have 2 consecutive sales, just help me look at the chart. Look at the chart. When you have 2 consecutive days of sell, there's usually a high chance that the next day is going to be bearish. Let's look at it together. But we had, for this place here, 1 consecutive day of sale, another consecutive day of sale. The next day was not bearish. So this does not count, right? Wrong, right? My analysis is wrong on this. 1, 2, we had a bearish market, right? After 2 consecutive days of sale. So we have 1. This one here did not work out. But this one here worked out, right? 2. This one here worked out. 3, right? Here. This one did not work. But this one here worked out. We have 4, right? We have this one here didn't work out. But you can see 1, 2. We have 5. We have 6, right? We have 6. So we have about 6 times where it worked out perfectly, and around 3 to 4 times when it did not work out. I'm just saying that there seems to be a pattern here to notice that when you have oil is like a momentum indicator, momentum instrument, in the sense that most times when it is moving, it moves. If it can gather 2 days of momentum, there's a high chance that that move is likely going to continue. You understand? So looking at how we've had very good bearish candles for the past 2 days, there's a high chance that a sell is actually what we'll be looking out for on oil. If further sells, what we're looking at for oil. But of course, we're not just going to sell here, because this zone here is a strong support zone. You can see how price was rejected here the last time. Price was currently being rejected here. So this zone is a strong zone. So it might not be wise to say sell now, right? Rather, we might be looking out for sells around resistance points, somewhere like this. Oh, Samuel, how did you just know that this place is a resistance point? Because you can see that this is the most recent place where there was a rejection to price. And if you follow it, you see that this was a place where there was also a rejection to price, right? So this is one of the closest resistance points we have. Another resistance point that we have is this zone here. These are zones where I will even be looking out for. I can even look out for other resistance points on a smaller time frame. Can look out for resistance point on a smaller time. This is a weak resistance that price has, but I could rather go in around this place. So what I'm saying is that I can have my sell limit. I can have my sell limit on oil around this zone here. I can have my sell limit on oil around this zone here. Okay, I can have my sell limit on oil around this zone. So there are 2 ways I'm going to do this. I can wait for oil to get to this place and I sell. And if I sell from here, definitely I'm expecting a fall. I'm expecting it to fall. For instance, if I have a sell limit, or if I'm selling from 80.10, if I'm selling from 80.10, I'm going to be selling and expecting price to head all the way to 78.20 zone. If I'm selling oil from 80.10, I'm going to be selling all the way to 78.20 zone. You get that? That's what I'll be doing. Okay, so that's one way for me to do this. One way for me to do this is to wait for price to come here, and then I sell and get very good fall. Okay, and that thing I can do is good. Well, price is well below this. Another thing I can do, even when I'm not waiting for price to get here, once price gets towards this my 50 period moving average, I can actually look out for a sell there. On 15 minutes, if price gets towards my 50 period moving average on 15 minutes, I can actually look out for a sell there. So there are ways to go around this. Okay, expecting a sell in the market, I can look out for a sell at around 80.10 to sell from that place. I can also look out for scalping sell. In terms of scalping, if price gets to this 50 period moving average, I can scalp a sell from here, because if price gets here, this is a resistance number 1, this is like a double top, so I can scalp a sell from here also. Another thing I can do is the more conservative people, which is to wait for price to break below this support here. Once price can now break below 78.40, once price breaks below 78.40, I can sell to around 77.80. So if price breaks below 78.40, I can sell to 77.80. But there's bearish pressure in oil. And if you're trading oil today, I would advise that, you look out for a sell on oil. So you can have your 50 period moving average of 15 minutes. Look out for a sell from there. The 50 period moving average, you will see that has been the one really pushing price down all this while. Right? I can look out for a sell from there. I can look out for a sell from 80.10. Right? And I can also have a sell waiting at 78.40. I can wait for price to sell to 70.40. I sell from there to 77.80. Okay, that's how I would advise that you treat oil today. Okay, let's move on. I think that we should look at USD NGN. Let's look at let's look at USD NGN. Who is with me now? Let's consider USD NGN. Have you guys seen a USD? You have USD NGN chart on your chart? Look at it here. Have you seen what it looks like? Look at the USD NGN chart, guys. Look at the USD NGN chart so that you know what it looks like. This is dollar to naira. Why now? No. See it now. Look at it here. Yesterday, the naira, the official rate, this USD NGN chart is not black market rate. It deals with the official rate, right? So yesterday, the reason why it is like this, because it is never stable. It is never stable. You understand? So that's why it's like this. The feed to the MT4 is terrible. You understand? So that's why it's like this. But yesterday, price moved from this place here, 890 something, which was the official rate, to around 1,400. Yes, price moved like that. Black market rate has been at 1.5 and even this, but official rates has been at 890. But yesterday it moved in the morning from that place all the way, just moved to 1,004. You understand? Hey, so that's how it actually moved, and it cannot be stable. I gave TP now. I gave TP for oil. I kept saying it, but it's fine. I don't usually have, as long as you have where your entry is. It's not really about. I don't like when people are so much vested in take profits. You understand? Just leave that table. You see that place we said you should sell oil from? Where's that oil again? We said 50 period moving average to sell from. We said 80.10 to sell from. We said also you can look out for a sell from 78.40 to 77.80, right? That's a take profit, right? Hey. So, but the most important thing is that you are in good profit. Once you see that you're in good profit, just try and protect your profit. You can drag stop loss to a break-even point, as price continues, But from my experience, so most times, if somebody is giving take profit like this, you see people just waiting and waiting and waiting for take profit. Say, let it hit it. And then, what the market does what it does. You understand? Blue like Brownian motion. Wow, I didn't do chemistry. I don't understand. What is it profitable to trade USD? Oh yeah, now you can't even trade it. Can't trade it on the platform. Destiny, please ask your question. I'm waiting for your question. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't like it. I like responding to your question. I just can't be on the chat answering questions, so I miss some. So ask your question, please. Hey, so Celestine, you see some of the trade closed yesterday, and that also happened. We have some persons who actually turned out that they made a whole lot of profit than what they were on, because their trade were on profit when that rate increased. But we also have many persons who around were on loss, actually people who have proper analysis. Actually people who have a lot of holding trades, especially in negative. Once that thing happened like that, the Naira account, the new rate affected it actually. It affected it. Celestine is right. So Destiny, I'm waiting for your question, please. Why should I go back to GBP card? I'm not going back to GBP card. I've done GBP card now. Oh, Destiny, congratulations. God bless you. More profit ahead in Jesus' name. Withdraw for the weekend, though. Withdraw for the weekend, though. It's not that you say brokers don't like you to withdraw. Destiny, everybody, you are here when I'm telling you that Destiny, withdraw for the weekend, though. So that you can drink Coke. I believe that's your question. So let's move on. Yes, so we have looked at GBP card, we've looked at oil. We can also look at GBP JPY. That's another instrument I expect to do very well. And I saw somebody point it out with a capital letter. So I feel like if I don't talk about it, I will be in trouble. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Fanny. I don't need to go back. Thank you. NFP is 230. Difference between moving exponential, moving average, and no, there's no moving average. exponential moving average is a type of moving average. It's a faster type of moving average. Just the calculation that is different. People use exponential moving average in a fast moving market, and people use simple moving average in a slow moving market, like on the daily time frame. People use simple moving average. It doesn't really, sorry, the difference between the two is not so much, actually. Difference between the two is not so much. Okay, so let's move on. So this is GBP JPY, guys. Just the same way we expect GBP CAD when we look at GBP CAD to be bullish, GBP JPY is going to be bullish. Can you see that after days of fall? Can you see this hammer? Who remembers this hammer? We talked of this hammer, that when a hammer like this appears, especially on its support, there's a high chance that price is about to head upwards. So if you're trading GBP JPY, it's actually bullish. We may not, I'm usually not, most of the time, not interested in buying immediately. I like to buy from a support, right? And the truth is that if you follow some of the things I've been saying over the past few days, you will be on a buy on GBP JPY. Look at this. I always told us that if you see 3-4 candles, look at this candle here, 3-4 candles just closing above themselves, it tells you that there's going to be a spike in the market, right? So we expect GBP JPY to get to this place. I expect GBP JPY to actually get to this place. How many pips is that? From here to where price is now is close to 50 pips. You understand? So I think a buy on GBP JPY is actually fine. It's fine to look out for a buy on GBP JPY. Can buy GBP JPY. I think it's fine to do an instant buy on GBP JPY. No, the reason I said that is because this is 15 minutes. We had an inverted hammer, which is like a sell signal, but a bearish candle should have confirmed it, right? But instead we had a bullish candle, which shows that there's still bullish strength in the British pounds, right? So we'll still be looking out for a buy on GBP JPY. You can also have a buy limit. You can have a buy limit on 186.290. You can have a buy around there. If GBP JPY retraces to 186.290, you can look out for a buy from there. Okay, you can look out for a buy from there. If you retrace to that place, but I expect a buy on GBP JPY up to around 187.380. Okay. Okay. So that's it. Hey, people are busting my head here. Oh God, I beg. Oh, let this profit continue. Oh, so yes, but that's it. Do you understand my point? My point is that if we look at the daily time frame and we see how this candle ended, there's a lot of bullish pressure here. Buyers are, I wish that and that's what profit is. I wish that there are people who saw this already and are already on a buy, not even having to wait till the MMR. You understand? That's why when you wake up in the morning, like 6 a.m. or whatever, or this thing, you scan the market. You scan the market. You check it on daily time frame. How did the candles close? The candles themselves tell you a story. You understand? The candles tell you a story. Okay. Now, with this candle like this, price has already made up to 30 pips bullish move this morning already. But there is still room for it to push further up, right? There's still room for it to push further. So I would still advise a buy on GBP JPY. So I was saying that you can actually, okay, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this, guys. We can have a buy, instead of going too far, we can have a buy limit. You can have a buy limit at 186 point, let's see. You can have a buy limit at 186.520. You can have a buy limit at 186.520. Another thing you can do is actually to have a buy immediately price closes above, since we've seen a small resistance here, which I don't think is a problem. I expect GBP to break this. But since we see this place at 187 point, you see this 187.020. Once price gets here, we can buy from here all the way to that point. This is around 30 pips. Okay, so for GBP JPY, actually we're looking out for a buy. Okay, we're looking out for a buy on GBP JPY. Once it breaks that resistance, I expect it to do that. Even if it doesn't break that resistance, if it comes back towards this place, which is like a support, I'll look out for a buy from there. So I can have a, on GBP JPY, I can have a buy limit at 186.520. I can have that. I can also wait for price to break 187.020. I can expect price to break 187.020, and then I buy from there to 187.380, which is about 30 pips away. Okay. About 30 pips away. Okay, well, let's move from there and let's look at some other. Let's look at AUDJPY. You remember, guys, it's not like I'm deliberately avoiding US 2000, US this. I'm just trying to create a habit for us, a trading habit. Now, I'm saying that we are going to be having NFP later today. And so as we get towards the time, the market is going to slow down. Dollar pairs are going to slow down. You understand? And you don't want to be on a trade. You don't want to be on a trade. That's one of the worst things that can happen. You know, being on a trade confused before a high impact. That means you are at the mercy of the market. It's now about luck. Price can now come in your favor and you now say, thank God. Or it can be so bad. Or it can just do you small mago. You close your trade and it goes in very good profit. So most times when I have a high impact like this, I fully respect, like NFP, like FOMC. I try and stay away from those pairs till towards that time. You understand? So that's why we're looking at non-dollar pairs this morning. I see your US 100 request and USD JPY request and all that, but because those are dollar pairs, I'm choosing to stay away from them, because by 2 p.m. today, you'll still be joining me to look at those instruments for NFP, right? So guys, just so this AUDJPY, we've looked at GBP look at AUDJPY, and they are all the same. They are doing the same thing. Okay, they are doing the same thing. Look at the rejection here. Look at the rejection here. Okay, somebody who sees this candle, remember we talked about hammer, inverted hammer and all that. When you see this kind of instruments on daily time frame, it means that the move is going to be massive. That's just what it means. It means the move will be massive. Okay, so but for AUDJPY, it's currently bullish, but I think AUDJPY is at I think the link for Telegram is the same link. So this same link. The link for the meeting later today is the same link. So I think that AUDJPY is currently at the resistance. Let's check it at 1 hour and see what's up. Yes, it's at the resistance. AUDJPY is at the resistance. Look at it here. It's at the resistance. Now, so we've had some candlestick patterns here that are giving me a different kind of vibe. Look at around this resistance here. We have this. You see this hammer. You see this candle is a hammer. Why is it a hammer? Why is it called a hammer? It's called a hammer because the lower wick is longer than the what? Than the body. Okay, now, most times when you get a hammer on a support, look at it. Let me show you. Please take note of this. You see this hammer here? You see this hammer here? This one here is the same thing with this, but they are performing different functions. When I see this one on a support, when I see this one at the bottom of a chart on a support like this, I expect price to push up, especially after I get a bullish confirmation like this. Okay. But when I see this at a resistance, I'm not going to be looking out for a buy. When I see that the resistance, I'll not be looking out for a buy. Now, I would instead wait for the next candle. If the next candle closes bearish, if this current candle that is trading now closes bearish, that is a confirmation for me to sell AUDJPY from this resistance. Okay, so a hammer at a support performs a different function from a hammer at a resistance, guys. You understand? You see the way, so if you look at it on 15 minutes, look at this on 15 minutes, guys. On 15 minutes, look at the inverted hammer. Look at another inverted hammer, bearish. So this is giving us that AUDJPY might likely be rejected from this particular resistance here. This zone where AUDJPY is might likely be rejected from this resistance. But the truth is that AUDJPY, from the daily time frame that we saw, we are expecting a push up. We are expecting more of a buy. So what do? It means we may not want to buy here. We can actually sell here, but we can buy from the nearest support. We can buy from nearest support. So for AUDJPY, I hope you followed what I said from the daily time frame to this point. From the daily time frame, we actually saw that, a buy is in order. But when we looked at the smaller time frame, we found out that we cannot buy here because of what the candle is doing. On the 1 hour, we found a hammer at a resistance, which is not a buy signal. Most times it's even a sell signal. Now we are waiting for that candle to close, and if that candle closes bearish, we likely look out for a sell. Okay, now on the 15 minutes, we now saw inverted hammer. We've seen 2 inverted hammer already on the 15 minutes. Okay, and that tells us that this zone here is actually a sell zone. We can look out for a sell on AUDJPY, at least from here to around this place, which is around 15 pips or thereabout. Okay, but this is what I'm going to say. So I'm going to look out for, we are going to look out for a sell trade, and we're also going to look out for a buy limit, because whatever retracement price is going to do, by the time price is done with that retracement, price is headed upwards. The general movement of price is a buy. From what we saw on the daily time frame, mostly a buy. The general movement of AUDJPY is mostly a buy. But what we are looking out for now is, where do we enter our buy to be able to make as much profit as possible? Okay, where do we enter our buy to be able to make as much profit as possible? So the first thing we can do is that we can wait for price to close above this particular resistance zone here. Wait for price to close above it. So if price closes above 96.800, if price closes above 96.800, we can buy further. We can now look out for that buy. Can I look out for that buy to around, from that 96.800, we can look out for a buy to around, let's see how many pips we have here. Okay, that's about 20 pips, not bad. So from that 96.800, we can look out for 20 pips to around 97, 97.000 or 97.03, If price can close above this place, we can continue that buy, okay? But another thing we can do, we can have a buy limit around this zone here. You can have a buy limit around this zone here. Okay, let's look at how much retracement this has been to this place here. You see, I just use Fibonacci now just to check how much retracement this is. So I like to, so this has been, so that means that I can have my buy limit around this place, which is like a 50% retracement zone. So if price falls towards this place, I'll be looking out for a buy to continue that buy upwards. Okay, all the plenty English I'm saying is that if I notice a buy, if I'm going to look out for a buy, the best place I'm going to buy is on a support. I continue repeating this thing because if there is one thing I want you to know me for, is this thing, that yes, you want to buy, but the best place to buy is to be patient, to buy from a support. Yes, you want to sell, but the best place to sell is to sell from a resistance, so you have rest of mind. So price may not be able to break here. Price may likely retrace. So if price retraces, I can have my buy limit. I can have my buy limit at around 96.160. I can have my buy limit at around 96.160 to take it all the way up. From this place, I can take it all the way up. But I can also, if price does not go all the way down and price breaks above 96.790, price breaks above 96.790, then I can actually buy all the way to 97 point, 97 zone, which is around 20 pips. Which is around 20 pips, okay? So that's what I would advise for AUDJPY. But all of them are actually bullish. Now, somebody is on negative sell on Euro USD. Yeah, because of the weakness of the dollar, Euro USD really bought. So what are we going to do before the news? The reason why I am responding to this is because I want everybody to, this kind of thing happens to us all the time, right? It happens to us when you're on a trade and you don't know. I always tell people that if you're on a trade, okay, if you're on a trade, first of all, what is the trend? What is the general trend of the trade? Now, you're actually on a sell, right? You're on a sell, and you'll notice that price, this is the daily time frame on Euro USD, and price has been on a downtrend. Actually, price has been on a downtrend. So it's not a kind of trade where, first of all, your entry matches the trend of the market. It's on a downtrend. But yesterday, look at what price did. Price made a bullish engulfing on the daily time frame, a bullish engulfing, and that means that technically we still expect a further buy on Euro USD. Look at it now. Yesterday, price did a bullish. This is a bullish engulfing. A bullish engulfing is a bullish candle that completely closes. So technically today, we're actually expecting Euro USD to push forward. Technically today, we're expecting it to push forward. But on 1 hour now, Euro USD is on a resistance, on a verified resistance. So this is what I will advise you to do before that news, okay? I don't know where your sell is, but you are watching out for this resistance. This resistance where you're watching out. Most recently, price has not been able to break this resistance. And because of the news, price may likely range around this resistance. So this is where you are going to watch. If price breaks this zone, you may need to leave sentiment out of the way and just close your trade. You understand? And close your trade. If price breaks above this zone, price is likely headed forward further. But if price cannot break this zone, price will continue going downwards towards your entry. And it's not a matter of, closing. You understand? It's a matter of closing, okay? So that's what I will advise you. I advise you that, yes, there's a lot of bullish pressure in Euro USD, but currently, price is at a strong resistance that on 1 hour, it has not been able to break most recently. So that is where you need to watch. If anything makes price to break this place before the news, you need to close your trade, okay? But it doesn't look likely, so I feel like you need to hold on and watch out from between here to 1.09000. Price breaks above that place, then you might need to close your sell on Euro USD. My last statement on AUD JPY. I think my last statement was okay. But well, I know what I say about AUD JPY is buy. You understand? What I say about AUD JPY is buy, but I said that it's either it breaks the resistance it's on, or you can wait for it to retrace and then listen. Like I've said, because AUD JPY is a buy, if you're not even buying now, you can put your 50 period moving average on your 15 minutes chart. Put your 50 period moving average on your 15 minutes chart, and then if price retraces towards there, you can buy from there. You understand? You can buy from that zone. Then for the person who is on a sell on Euro AUD, still the same thing that I said. Okay, what is the trend of the market? First of all, draw your support or resistance. If price breaks the most resistance, you are on a sell. So if price breaks the nearest resistance, that means price will continue buying. So what you need to do now is to close that sell and follow buy. You understand? Okay, so that is how it works. Okay, so yes, but that's the much that we're going to take. I gave us an assignment. I really want us to look at it. I said that NFP, I said we should check the last 5 months for NFP. Go and check the last time. We'll talk about it by 2 o'clock with this same link. Check the last 5 months for NFP. Now, if what I said was that when NFP is coming out, most times, if the data comes out mixed, during NFP, there are 3 data that's coming out. There's average hourly earnings, there's unemployment rates, and here. So those data, the 3 of them come out at the same time. Now, I said, most times, if all of them comes out positive, dollar will be strong. Then you can sell Euro USD, you can sell GBP, you can sell gold, straight away. That's a straightforward thing. Now, if all the data comes out negative, straightforward, that means dollar will be weak. But I also said that if one of them comes out negative, that means this one come out, but one of them come out negative, there's a high chance that dollar will be weak. So what I now said is that let us go check the past 5 months, check NFP the past 5 months, and see when the data was weak, what happened? When it was mixed, what happened? So by 2 p.m. when we get back, we'll actually talk about it. Okay. So yes. Okay. Well, yeah, but the truth is, this is an advice that actually work for you, Mr. Lubinga. There are people who trade during, they make profit. There are people who trade before they make profit. What I think that he's saying, and that makes sense, is that you should really be more interested in the analysis than the entries. That's what I always talk about. You should be more interested in the analysis than the entries, like, for instance, apart from the entries I've said, there are things I've said about how to trade this instrument that have not happened yet. I talked of the moving average, I talked of retracement, that they've not happened yet. You understand? If you don't go back and look at it, you miss out. You just hold the entries that you have. You understand? So yes, that's true. Most of the things we talk about, the reason why we are buying, the reason why we are selling is what I think you should hold on to, right? So yes, so that's the much that we can take today. I think we will continue. Just look out for our WhatsApp channel for more updates. There'll be more updates on WhatsApp, and then you can join us again by 2 p.m. when we do NFP analysis. Okay, NFP analysis with this same link. Okay, with this same link. Yes, by the special grace of God, next week we have something big planned. For us, especially traders around Lagos, in and around Lagos. Okay, we'll be having a very important and special session that will be happening on Wednesday, I think, on the 7th. You'll be meeting me live and direct, so more details will be sent to us, provided to us over the weekend or on Monday. Okay, so we'll look forward to, I look forward to meeting us. So just prepare, okay, just as much as you can clear your schedule. And it's an event that would also you can also invite other traders outside. You understand? You can invite traders out. It's a traders event. Let's come together and let's talk. You understand? Especially with the way dollar is doing. Let's talk. You can come to Lagos. It depends on what the distance is. Okay, depends on the distance. Okay, so yeah. So that said, I will drop my number now, because you people are my bosses and it's what you say that I will do. If you have not done any training, then you need to do training. Okay, Mrs. Juliet, do training. We have tools for that. So just reach out to your account officer. You need to do training before all this. I can imagine how you must feel listening to all we are saying. You've not done it. You're like, what are these people saying? So you can just do training, and then of course you can join us. Okay, do training. So this is my number. You can chat me up on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is better. Somebody chatted me up yesterday with a full stop. The person just sent full stop to me. I don't understand. Okay. Somebody just sent full stop, and I don't know what that what that said. My name is Samuel. So that's my number. Okay, that's my number. So yes, let's go look at the market, and we will meet again by 2 p.m. later today with the same link. Okay, thank you all for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you all.